And the job for police is getting more dangerous. Over the last 3 years, the rate of assaults against police officers has increased, according to a new report released by the FBI. Investigator Sarah Goldenberg joining us live now in the newsroom. So, Sarah, what did you find?
Nicole, the numbers show some concerning trends. It's not just more assaults law enforcement officers are seeing. 50 police officers have been shot in ambush-style attacks so far this year, according to FBI data. To protect and serve comes with its dangers. Assaults against police officers are becoming more common, according to FBI data in this new special report released this spring. In 2024, nearly 12,000 agencies reported assaults on their officers to the FBI. This chart shows last year there was a rate of 13.5 assaults per 100 officers, the highest rate over the past 10 years. And the number of officers assaulted with guns has more than doubled in the past 10 years, reaching a 10-year high in 2023. When it comes to line-of-duty deaths, the report shows the number of law enforcement officers who were killed by a suspect has remained steady since 2022, but more officers were killed from 2021 to 2024 than any other consecutive 4-year period in the past 20 years. Jay McDonald, the president of the Fraternal Order of Police in Ohio, spoke outside of the Metro Health Medical Center Wednesday as police officers gathered to show support for their injured brothers. He says through the month of June, 166 law enforcement officers have been shot across the United States.
And everybody who hears this need to pray for the men and women of law enforcement because they remain under attack, not only in Lorain, not only in Northeast Ohio, but all across our state. Quite frankly, it's time for all of us to come together to put a stop to this.
And McDonald is asking police, prosecutors, lawmakers, and the public to stand together to condemn the violence against police. He says that's the only way incidents like this will stop. Live in the newsroom, Sarah Goldenberg, 19 News.
And 19 News is committed to updating you on new developments in this story. We have learned there is a candlelight vigil tonight at 9 at the Lorain City Hall Police Memorial. That is to support the officers who were shot. And once we learn new information about the officers, about their conditions, any new information on the investigation, we will certainly bring that to you here on air and on Cleveland 19.